I'll be the bride in black that's making you run. I feel alright and we'll feel alright, 'cause we'll work it out. Yeah, we'll work it out. I'll be doing this if you ever doubt, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I'll be your ghost, your game, your stadium. I'll be your 50,000 clapping like one. I feel alright and I feel alright, 'cause I worked it out. Yeah, I worked it out. I'll be doing this if you ever doubt, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I've got my mind made up and I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
Well, hello, I'm Junior McKee, and we got a special great guest with us tonight, and he's with the Tyn Tymes Band, a drummer there. They play adult contemporary pop, beach music, party band, R&B, and the best live performance bands in the nation, with a history from Myrtle Beach all the way to California, San Diego. The horn section has been compared to one of the finest in the nation, and is the horns that excites and engages the audience. I know it does me. And with a playlist that includes chartered beach music songs, classic R&B, soul, the Tyn Tymes Bands bring a professional and awesome experience to any event. And the drummer here we're going to be talking to, he's been with the band for, oh gosh, forever. And we're going to talk to him a little bit. His name is Lanny G. Thomas, and we're going to bring him on right now for you. Hey, Lanny, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, but I'll get better. How are you doing?
Well, I was trying to get better, but I got over
it. I understand that.
I tell you, Lanny is a little, I know he's a jokester, because I watch his Facebook page and I see some of the crazy little comments put on there, and sometimes I'll pipe in so he knows I'm not all there either. And so we can get by with that. As we older you get, you can get by with some crazy stuff, can't you?
You sure can. It's allowed.
Let me ask you this. I've got to ask, the Tyn Tymes Band is not spelled like people think it's going to be spelled. It's spelled Tyn, Tymes, band. And I got to ask, where did that name come from?
Yeah, we get asked that a lot, and it gets mispronounced from Tyn Tymes to whatever. But one of the guys in the band, in fact, our lead singer, Jerry Rickles, his dad was a sign painter, and we wanted something a little bit different. And so, we're playing retro music from the 60s. So the word Tymes, we put the Y in there, and his father came up with the idea of putting the Y in the word Tyn as well. Might not have been the best move for promoting a band, but anyway, it's kind of stuck, and we're too scared to change it now.
Well, I don't blame you. I mean, if it works, it works. And I
know
right. when I first was talking about it, I says, it's not 10. Well, I think I spelled something. I said, no, it ain't 10. It's that. But it's unusual and gets people to know there. And this band's been going since what, 1966?
1966. When I graduated from high school, I became the drummer, and everybody in our city or in that band, except for 2 or 3 guys, me being one of them, went to Auburn University. I'm sorry about that, but anyway, that's where they were. And I went to Jacksonville State. A couple of guys went to Alabama. But we would meet in Auburn and play fraternity parties, and got on the fraternity circuit, and literally went to every major university in the Southeast playing music. Got the opportunity to play with some pretty famous people back in the day, and still get a call for that every now and then. But it's been quite a ride. And as you mentioned earlier, we've literally been from Myrtle Beach to San Diego, and a lot of places in between. It's been a great ride.
Well, it's going all the way across the country, and entertaining. And you've been there you've been with the band since 1966, correct?
That's correct. I'm the only drummer they've ever had. Yeah.
And that blows me away, because I see a lot of different other bands which lasted lengthily wise, but yet they've changed out some members here and there, right there, and because of different reasons like that. So, do you still get so more as excited today as you did back in 1966 playing in front of a crowd?
Absolutely. Get just as nervous too. So I tell you, we try to settle things down as a group. By the way, since you mentioned, unusual for me to be there, we have 5 of the original 10 members still in that band, which is phenomenal. Now, we did break up for a while and got back together in 2000. But even after we got back together, this is 2025. We've been back together for 25 years. So it's a long story, but it's a great ride. But to answer your question, it's still just as exciting, and I love it. And, we've had some great experiences in the beach music area. We've been guest artists for the shows that are there, and we've had some of our songs charted on several of the radio stations, and it's just been an exciting ride. One of the highlights for me, we played Archie Manning's birthday party, 60th birthday party at Eli Manning's house.
Oh wow!
So we've had some, we've had some fun.
When listening to your music, and I've listened to a lot of music. Actually, I've kind of played some in the background and things throughout my doings and stuff. And I love the music. And actually, you sound, if not the same or better than the original artist. And that's what makes, to me, a great band. And there you are, way down, and you're still in Gadsden, Alabama?
Yeah, that's our headquarters. But as the guys got married and got jobs and moved around a little bit, in addition to their band work, we're spread out a little bit. We've got a guy down in Mobile. I actually live in a little place called Millport, Alabama, which is close to the Mississippi line. But our home base is Gadsden, Alabama. That's where we all originated from. And when we rehearse, that's where we go. And we do a couple of shows there every year. Just finished one in August. We do something there the first Saturday in August, and we do a Mardi Gras party. It kind of moves around a little bit, but it'll be in later January or February, somewhere around in there. But we're in Alabama, and we would love to play more up in your area, but that's at least an 8-hour trip for us. And to move a band our size, that's not an easy do. Plus, we got plenty of business in this area.
Well, sometimes that's a good thing. Hard to get branched way out because people living locally, and I can see why you stay super busy there because it's way up here. It's I know Pat Quinn, and he can't even get up to my area sometimes.
Yeah, well, he's like you. He's a good friend and a great radio guy, and he plays our music like you do, but Jerry, we appreciate you. When I say we, I'm talking about the band and the guys associated with the band, because you keep the music going, and without that, we don't get the word out. At least a lot of people tonight are going to hear about our band that's really never heard of us or didn't know how to pronounce our name, by the way.
Right.
And so we appreciate what you do, and I really appreciate this opportunity to visit with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And do you know Michael McNeil? Now, with Michael McNeil, I interviewed him been a good while back. He's the drummer for the Three Dog Night.
Oh, okay. I don't know him personally. Obviously, I've through the years seen him.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you have,
but never met him
because we all grew up in that type of
I've
music.
never met him.
With that type of music, with the Three Dog Night and music like that. But he's went on and got some ranches out that helps. He still drums a little bit, and he got some ranches out that he helped young kids with in different spots throughout the Westway awesome. And stuff. And he's just super good guy. And I figured I didn't know if he still had his drummer connections with all these other drummers, because I always wanted to play drums when I was a kid, until I was told growing up, stop banging on that stuff. Now, how'd you get started drumming?
Well, actually, I got a little kid's drum set when I was still in grammar school for Christmas, and they didn't last very long. I tore them up pretty good, but I always loved the drums. And when I got to high school, I was in the drum section there and became a section leader, and won the local district contest playing drums. And I think some of those things are the reason the Tyn Tymes asked me to come and play with them. And so it's been something that I've never regretted. I mean, I admire these guys that play sports, but you're done at 30, 35 somewhere. But I'm in my 70s and I can still perform, still play. And like we were talking about earlier, I love it, still get excited about it. And it's just one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Well, we all just kind of love coming out and listen to music, these events, stuff like that. And I'm not a singer or could play anything. I see a banjo behind you. You play a banjo also? You play any other instruments besides drums?
That's actually, it looks like a banjo. Maybe I can show it. That's actually a tiny snare drum. If you look, you probably can't see it that well.
Yeah, I can see it.
But my drum set's right behind me. I'm sitting on my drum stool as we talk. But that's a snare drum. It's called a piccolo snare drum because it's very thin.
Okay, looks like the piccolo player, but it's a different instrument.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, man, when it comes time to unload those drums and load them back up, I wish I played a piccolo at that time.
Yeah, that's the thing about any type of entertainment. Even mine, when I have to move all this equipment, if I'm doing something live elsewhere, it's just setting up and the tearing down. People done gone and stuff like that. And you're still there, getting you don't get to leave right on time.
Yeah. No, not at all in my case. Yeah.
Now, I know
I have to admit, I do have some help now. I didn't used to, but I do now,
Well, have you
with some of that.
Incorporated in your family to make them roadies?
Some of them, but we also have some equipment guys, that help a little bit and, help a whole lot. These are great guys. They double as the sound men and do other things. And, so we've been very blessed to have a terrific crew.
Well, that is great. I know years ago that you played, your band played at the Rock the River event, which sold out weeks in advance. And I know that just probably blew your mind. That I mean, sold out performance. It doesn't happen often. Some of the bigger stars maybe. And I don't think they get sold out completely. I just think they do that sometimes. We'll get close to being sold out. We're going to get your tickets quick.
Well, I mentioned that event in Gadsden. It's the first Saturday in August. We've been doing that for 25 years, and it usually sells out. But that event has changed names through the 25 years. it started out as the Tyn Tymes reunion. When we first got back together, we were actually going to only play one gig. It sold out in 3 hours, and because of the response that we had for that, we decided to stay together and have continued. And it's a really, you're talking about a sellout crowd. We have a little bit of an advantage in our hometown. Half of the band came from one high school. The other half of the band came from the competing high school. So that draws in
both sides,
everybody, in the county, So anyway, it's worked well for us. It's kind of weird. The back line, the rhythm section, and the lead singer all came from a school called Emma Sansom, and then the horn line all came from a school named Gadsden High.
To me, we have like Union here and then Gaffney. They kind of rivalries too, like that. But that's pretty smart to get on each side like it, because you get both sides. It's almost like politics. You get both sides. If they didn't fight, you get both sides.
It is, but it wasn't really planned that way. It just turned out that way.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of really known worldwide. I mean, you have some top hits in England, even. You're just not just local. You've been heard around the world. Your band.
Well, we recorded back in the 60s, maybe early 70s. It might have been 71, but I'm not 100% sure of that. We recorded at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals and released that on a 45 vinyl. And I don't know, about 10 years ago, I was looking on the internet, and that record in the Northern Soul genre, we'll call it, was for sale. And it was for like 800 pounds, British pounds.
Uh-huh.
And I did some math on that, and I couldn't believe that record was selling that much. And but it was, and so it's been an amazing. So yeah, we've been around the world, and we've got some radio friends that have some syndicated programs in other countries, and we get some little play there. I get to talk to some people on Facebook and other places from other countries. It's really something that I'm super proud that I'm a small part of.
Yeah. Well, I know the band plays some cover songs, but y'all's got the band has got some original songs. I know one of your beach music went to the charts, which is "Wonderful Woman," reached #1 on the Surfside Top 20 Beach Music Chart. And when you go to Myrtle Beach and that area there, and even San Diego, California, to me, if you go to those places, you got to listen to beach music. You can't listen to nothing else, because that's just where it kind of gets its little start.
That's right. And so many people think beach music is the Beach Boys. I don't want to exclude the Beach Boys. They certainly had some awesome music, and you could consider that a fringe, but really, Jerry, I would really like to hear what you call. We were playing over in Mississippi at Ole Miss at a fraternity party, and this was a party that is alumni. So they remembered us from the 60s and 70s, and but they were there with their kids who are going to school now. And one kid came up. He wasn't with a parent or anything. But he came up on the break and he said, "I am so glad to hear y'all play. Said, I sure do miss that beach music." And I'll be honest with you, we didn't exactly know what he was talking about. But it turns out that our song list is almost all beach music, a few things that might not be considered beach music. But we called it Southern Soul, being in Alabama. And the Wilson Pickett from Alabama. There's a lot of them. But anyway, we've been playing beach music all these years and didn't really know it till about I don't know 15 years ago.
Well, your band plays some Motown, classic R&B, of course, in beach, little beach music like that. Matter of fact, I've got interview with Motown Bobby, we call him around here like that. His uncle is names went through my brain. You know how it is when you get older. And
I know about that.
Smokey Robinson is his uncle. And so
wow.
Yeah, so he plays a lot of venues right here. He's a DJ, and they all call him Motown Bobby. So I'm gonna have him on a show here to highlight his music career there too. But you're right. A lot of people, when they hear certain sounds, they relate it with the beach, because a lot of the younger and years ago, that's what a lot of performers were playing this type of music. And they just associate it with that.
Exactly, and they were playing clubs at the beach. We did some of that in Alabama, and I do recall that we'd be playing somewhere, and Swing Medallions would be playing at some other club, and like I say, we've been doing it all these years. We just had a little different name for it, but it's the same music.
Exactly. And I want to let folks know too, underneath there, you can see how you can get a hold of the Tyn Tymes Band, because you know what, who knows, you might say, I've got to have them here up in South Carolina, close to Jerry.
Yeah.
I've got to have them up here, and we're going to pay for all this, get all them up here, and we want them up here. So that's why.
Yeah. And there's only about 12 of us and spouses, and we could stay at your house, Jerry. It'd be all right.
Well, that would be fine like that. You got good sleeping bags. We don't have running water. I've got a hose right now. You got to remember, I just retired, so I'm on a fixed income. So we got. My wife moved me out to the building.
I got you.
But yeah, and like I said, that's where they can go and find listen to some of your music on Reverb Nation, especially. And what the good thing is that they can hear you play, and they don't have to go buy the whole CD. You'd like them to buy these things right here, but they can hear a lot of different of your music there as you play. Now,
exactly.
Your fan base, includes. Of course, England, Spain, Ireland, Puerto Rico, and others as results of being just an international playlist, from Reverb and Spotify, all this where you have your music at. And they might not see you, they might not have seen you like that, but they know your music. And I know that you're working on a project that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. And I think it's great. And so you're going to. And also, I got some pictures too. That way you can kind of tell me a little bit about the pictures a little bit. And now some of these events that you've played with, like the Tams, Bo Diddley, Lou Christie, Eddie Money, and let's see, I think Archie Bale, and the Drills. So you've played with some great artists there. Your band has, and I always wondered, when you play with some of these events with some of these artists, do you y'all kind of get together and just kind of shoot the breeze and talk about your shop, or just talk about all kind of stuff?
A lot of times we do get to talk to some, there's so many in our band, we don't all get to talk to that major artist, but sometimes we do. And we all have some similar stories. Archie Bell and the Drill, they were doing they were doing like fraternity parties and stuff back when we were. And so we even played a couple events together, and I think they had a hit record back then. And we opened up for them. We did open up for the Towns several times, and but we get to talk to them backstage for a few minutes, usually right before a show starts or on a break. But we don't get to go out to dinner with them or anything. But anyway, we really do enjoy those kind of shows. A lot of times it's a crossover, meaning we get introduced to some of their fans, and then their fans get introduced to us. So it's usually a great situation to have a show like that where you've got two bands.
All right. Now let's talk about some of the band members. You said some's last five still there. Jerry Wrinkles was the lead vocals. Is he still and trumpet player?
Right. He's still the lead vocalist. And then we have two other vocalists. We have a percussionist in addition to me as drummer, and he sings. And we also have a guitar player. Anyway, the percussionist is Lowell Shirey, and he's very good. He won one of those music contests that they used to have on TV. I can't remember. It wasn't the America thing, but he was that good to win a contest like that and got a record deal way back when. And then our lead guitar is also a singer, and his name is Benny Leverton. And so those three guys do the lead singing. Then Ronnie Cornutt, who plays our keyboard, he joins them as a backup singer when they're doing songs where they need backup.
Not gonna ask.
So we've got great vocalists.
Does Ronnie still play the Hammond, or is he upgraded? Hammond organ?
Well, he's upgraded. That Hammond got heavy. That Hammond got heavy for all of us, you know. But he's upgraded. In fact, he's double upgraded. Just recently got another keyboard that he's real happy with and sounds awesome. He arranged, I would say, 90% of the songs that we do. We do covers, but they're not copies. They're arrangements of those songs.
And then let's see, is James Swing Smith? Is he still?
He was James was a saxophone player that was with us. James passed away, and he was. He got that name Swing because when he was in high school, he could play that saxophone, and that's where he got the name. But unfortunately, he passed away. Ricky Countryman is another one that passed away. He was the leader of the band and the trumpet player. He passed away about 4 years ago now. And but we've lost three of the originals. Have passed away. One was Chip Davidson. He played bass guitar, and but we've had 2 or 3 bass guitars since then, and so it's really tough when one of these guys pass. But those things happen. But we still have Ken Strickland, who plays saxophone. He's one of the originals. Carl Sharp plays trumpet. He's an original. Of course, Jerry, you mentioned him. He's the lead singer. Ronnie is our keyboardist, and I play drums. So we're still going.
And that is great. I mean, because your music can't die. It's got to stay there, right? That's right. Now music now is not to me, it's not the music that we used to listen to. We could put on the record and you hear that like that, when you started up, and that album sound is nothing a CD or DVD can capture on that type of music. And you have, I just, it amazes me that you got all these songs and you know them. You don't have to sit there and read them or have a device there to tell you. And that is wild to do that.
Well, a lot of people think I'm reading because I have a music stand and then there's some paper on it. But what they don't see is all that's on that piece of paper is the title of the song. That's all. And so, we mix up we call them shows. There'll be 20, 30 songs on a show, and we may skip around on that list. But some of them we developed back in the 60s. I really don't think of us as a cover band because we were actually playing in the 60s. We stepped out of the 60s still playing the same arrangements that we were playing back then. So, yeah, there's somebody else wrote those songs, but we played them back in the 60s when they were #1 hits.
Well, I know back in the 60s, people don't realize this. That's when we had the war going on and things like that. And sometimes I know that had to interrupt a lot of your band members having to go to serve in the far country. And that kind of,
Right.
I know that had to be a struggle for the band to keep things going and together even during that time.
Yeah, we did. We had guys that not only were in the regular military and got drafted, but in addition to that, we had some that were serving in the National Guard. And then, you know, they would have camps they would have to go to. And, I don't know what it is about Alabama, but if you think about it, you know, with Muscle Shoals and really Memphis is pretty close.
Yes.
We've got an area that, we've got an area there that there's just a lot of people that were inspired to go into music and to write music and musicians. Some of them you've never heard of, but they have written some of the major songs that you still hear on the radio. One of them I think of in Alabama comes right to mind, doesn't live very far from me, is Dan Penn, and he wrote "I'm Your Puppet." And so, you know, we just got a lot of talent in this area. The reason I'm saying that is these guys had to go in the military, but we had a great bank of people that we could pull from to play with us until they got back.
You know, I'm going to have to stop 1 second and run get something. Guess what? My mouse, it died.
Yeah.
So I got to get a little plug real quick. Because I was getting ready to go to show pictures and I said, something ain't moving. I looked at the top. Your mouse. Give 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, I got switched over there. Let's see if I can get this up here. All right. Oh, well, let that charge a second. You know what? Sometimes I'll say, well, I don't really like batteries, but I think I'm going to go with all battery things here, because one thing about it, if you can recharge these right here, but if they go dead, they're dead.
I don't know what that was about.
There you go. I'll see you now. It come back in. What it was doing is, I guess it froze up on your end there and just froze you, but it popped back in. That's internet does that.
Well, we don't have great internet here.
Well, we just happen to have cable that reached our ear. I live out in the country. They just happen to reach down here, which was good. Now, when some of your music, did you ever print it on in vinyls like 45s and back in that day? You know, sometimes you go into these studios and they say, "Hey, you want to do a record here?"
Well, we did cut that record I mentioned earlier at Fame Studios, but we haven't done that. You know, we've done some CDs, but not vinyl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's real popular now. I understand that people do want it. Jerry, we got a lot of echo going on. I don't know
Okay.
what that's about. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't hear it on my end.
okay.
You must, it must be on your end echoing.
Yeah.
Oh, now you've had some like some upbeat music, soul tunes called "Baby I Love You," and it was a real good instrumental. I mean, it went pretty far there. I mean, to me the music that you play is not strictly one genre. You got some bands that plays nothing but country music, where your music is everywhere.
Yeah. We play some Chicago. Anything with horns, we're able to do. We've got a big horn section. There's 5 horns in our band, so we can pretty well put together an arrangement of any song.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's take some looks at some pictures, and we can talk about them. I'll put us kind of in the bottom there where they can still see us and hear us. Okay, tell me about this right here. This is look like it's a high school.
Nope, that is the convention hall in Gadsden, Alabama. And that was one of the early shows. I don't remember the exact year now, but that was one of the sold out shows that we were talking about earlier. And we would do this event every year. And that event is still going on, but it's in a different venue. They actually tore that building down about 5 years ago. So, but that's what that crowd is all about. They're there for our annual show.
Now here's some of the. I'm trying to see. Oh, they must have you blocked on that one, on that picture.
Yeah, I hide back in the back a lot.
When I used to video the bands and all, I always had to make sure I had to get back in the angle to where I can get the drummer.
I appreciate that. Not many people go to that trouble.
Well, I know how it is to be always in the background. Now you look like you're playing like the Blues Brothers here.
We have a little routine that is the Blues Brothers. That song "Can't Turn You Loose."
Yep.
It's a song that's really upbeat, and we throw some sunglasses on and put those hats on, and it's an instrumental.
That is, and the Blues Brothers is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, me too.
Now, is this the group now, or is it this older picture?
That's an older picture. That's me in the middle, and you mentioned Jerry Rickles. He's on my right in that picture. I'm sorry, he's on my left. I'm a drummer. I don't know right from left, But most of those guys, I see maybe 2 or 3 that are no longer in there.
Okay.
But that's a lot of us.
Well, I thought you looked just a little younger there.
Oh yeah, just a little.
And then right here was 3 number 1 songs right here. Wonderful Woman, Love Will Never Be Understood, and Break It Up. Number 1 songs, 3 right in a row. That's kind of that's awesome.
Well, we've been blessed. We get a lot of radio play, especially not to be from the area up in there. I do have to admit that most of it is on the beach music station.
Mm-hmm. Well, it all connects in. Like I said, you're playing the R&B and things at the beach, and And that's what people relate the beach with.
Right.
Now here's what we was talking about, some of your number one hit, Breaking Up.
Yeah, that's actually a Towns cover.
Whoop.
Towns is one of our favorite bands. We love those guys.
They were playing up in our area this past weekend, actually, to a festival we had up here. Now,
They're everywhere.
Who are these crazy people?
Those were just some fans that were out on the beach, and we made their picture and used it in our promotional stuff.
Well, I was trying to figure out, and I was looking closely at this picture. I was saying, now which one is Lanny? Which one is Lanny? And I couldn't find it. I said, well, I'm going to ask him about this picture.
Well, if you can figure out which one of those is Lanny, I'll give you $10 million.
That would just corrupt me. If I found out, if I won that big lottery like they had, nah, God knew he ain't gonna let me win that. He know it just corrupt me all to pieces. Now, where are you playing at here?
That is down in the Gulf Coast. It would be close to Orange Beach, down in that area, close to the Florida line, but still in Alabama.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Now this goes way back, doesn't it?
That is 1966 band. That's the original group.
I seen that picture on there. I had to pull it. So I got to get this picture in here. Now, okay. Let me see if I can find you there. I'm going to say that you're on the right shoulder of the guy in the center.
That's correct.
Wow. Boy,
Wow.
I know that brings back great memories because, you're young and energetic and just wide open.
Yeah. I people, say, "Oh, wow, you haven't changed." And I say, "Really? Have I looked this old all my life?"
Well, you're supposed to take it the other way around. You look young like that all your life. And this right here, then we're going to talk about next, of course, is the Lanny Thomas Project. And there you are on the right, playing the drums. And and this is a project that you've started, and I'm going to come back to us here. There we go. And tell me in the audience about what is this project.
All right, so I'm a songwriter. I have some of the songs I've written have been recorded by beach music groups like the Band of Oz, as well as Craig Woolard, and but my co-writer had a studio in Birmingham, Alabama, and he passed away during COVID. And so I wanted to continue to write, but I didn't have a studio or a way to produce the songs. So when I broke my ankle that I mentioned to you before the show started, I had a lot of downtime. I started looking at what I could do to produce the songs I wrote. But I didn't really have a way to produce them. So I came up with the idea of putting them on Facebook, but even though they are demos. So I called it the Lanny Thomas Project Demo Room. And I've written a lot of songs and used software to produce the songs, and they're actually all demos. Well, some of the demos turned out so well that DJs wanted to play them on the radio station. I said, "These are just demos." And they said, "Well, that's okay. They sound good." And I said, "That's fine with me. Let's go." So my idea was, and you and I have touched on this a little bit, they don't make music like they used to.
Right.
And meaning it doesn't sound like it used to, like we grew up. I found out real quick that I have an audience of from 35-year-old to 65 and older. So that's a pretty big spread. That's the people that heard the music when it was a hit, their kids and the grandkids. So that's a huge audience. That also plays right into beach music. That's the same similar kind of audience. However, there's a lot of young people because of the shack dancing and the contests and those sort of things. Have even a younger group that like that music.
Well, you know,
so
most of
I started producing these songs and putting them on Facebook, and started getting invitations to send those songs to the radio station.
Well, you know, most of the older songs, if you listen to commercials, you will find that most of the commercials are using some of the older music.
Absolutely.
And one of my favorite music y'all play like that is 6345789 by Wilson Pickett. Something about that song just gets me tapping my foot and dancing crazy. My wife, they caught me on security camera on my porch. but it's, and that's what the music does. And now this song that we'll be playing, we'll talk about it after it plays. This is one of the originals that you sent me the link to, and we're going to I'm going to play that right now. I'll put us both back in the backstage while we listen and while our audience listens to this great music here. Let me switch it on.
Playing on the radio, where the horns cry out and the groove is tight. Takes me back to those Saturday nights. I heard Sweet Marvin everywhere, Temptation swaying like they're floating on air. It ain't just music, it's a soul rebirth. It's the kind of sound that shook the earth. I love that classic R&B, Motown magic washing over me. Melodies and harmonies divine, like they were sent down from the sky. Oh, songs that make you wanna dance or drift
That was great. Loved it. Loved it.
Oh, thank you, man.
Now, I gotta ask, that's you singing, right?
Okay. No,
No?
no. You might even get an argument as to whether I'm a drummer or not from some of the other guys in the band, but I'm definitely not a singer. Yeah. When I was laid up in the bed, I had major surgery on my ankle, and so I learned to use the latest musical tools, including AI, and I generated that voice using software. So I can't sing. That's why I'm keep saying these are demos.
Right.
This is not a live band that's going to go out here and play. But
So you put this together with
the
AI?
DJs like the song and they want to play them. That's all right with me.
Yeah. Now you put this together with AI?
I did the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah. But
that's
you have
impressive.
to understand now there's a lot of misconception about AI. AI is the paintbrush. It's not the painter.
Right.
It still takes human skill, and you've got to know that song is what I was hearing in my head. It wasn't something that I said, give me an R&B song, and AI did it. It doesn't work that way.
No, I worked with AI before, and now you can tell it to do something. It'll just only do what you tell it to do. But it does take some skill. That's why I was impressed with you. Not that I didn't think you had any skills, but that was good. I like that. And I can see why they wanted to play it.
Well, it's getting a lot of play. In fact, it's already on one list, the song list, and maybe another one. But it's like number 14 on one list, and it's only been on there 2 weeks.
Yeah. Now, in writing your music, and I asked all the artists that writes their music, what inspires you to write the words? What just kind of gets your juices going when you're writing?
Yeah. Okay. So it might be a personal experience, or it might be a combination of several experiences, and then sometimes it's more of a psychological thing. Like I love R&B music, and that was just the idea for the song, and then obviously I had to make it sound like R&B music. So those motivations are really difficult to tell, but sometimes I get an idea. Hey, I recently wrote a song that I wrote the lyrics to back when I was in high school, and I still had the paper with the words on there, and so I generated the song from that. Unlike a lot of people, I don't play a melodic instrument because I play drums. In other words, you don't get good notes on a drum set, if you understand what I'm saying. However, I know what I've been playing so long, I know what I want to hear.
Right.
And that's where I can use the software to generate those songs. But unlike a lot of singers or songwriters, I usually do the lyrics first. A lot of songwriters do the music first.
Oh, okay.
But in my case, it's the lyrics.
Wow. Well, I hadn't heard that before, but that's good. Usually, I mean, because I always wondered, because the ones I thought some of the artists that's written music, they've written the song down first and then started putting some lyrics and different things like that. But you're kind of doing the opposite thing. But I can see why that'll work real good.
Yeah, I'm not the only one that does it that way, but a lot of people will. You see these singer-songwriters in Nashville that sit up there on the stool with a guitar. They usually wrote those notes to that song with the guitar first, and then put the lyrics with it. Well, I have to do it the other way around because I don't play an instrument. But if you listen to the lyrics before there's any music, there's a rhythm within those syllables that will come out. And being a drummer, I pick up on that rhythm.
Yeah.
I believe that's a little bit of a help for me in writing these songs.
Well, if you see the ticker down below, and people, if you see the ticker down below, like that's how you can get hold to Tyn Tymes Band. But if you see the ticker a little bit before that right there, yes, that's my church service. I pushed the wrong button. I'm the pastor of a church, also a Beachy Presbyterian Church in Gaffney, and I've got the little ticker things I put up there on it, and I just had to look down. I said, "Oh, some people think he's at church."
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to ask you this too. Have you, the band, played any Christmas songs? Because I know Christmas is coming up, and I always ask each band, do they have Christmas songs that you've written or that you play?
No, we don't. The Tyn Tymes doesn't have any Christmas songs. I recently wrote a Christmas song, but it hadn't been released yet, and that's the first one that I've ever written. And we don't really play any in the Tyn Tymes.
Okay, I was just curious about that. Some bands do. Some have just like one that they've written, or something like that. And, you're gonna have to finish that one that you've written out. It'll be interesting to hear, because I know it'll be good.
Well, thank you.
So you got to get that out.
Yeah.
Well, Lanny, we're going to wrap it up here. And I took a lot of your time there too, and I appreciate you coming on and being on the show here and enlightening us with the band and music. I just encourage people to go to all the things you've seen on the bottom there, how to get to their sites to listen to their music, and just really appreciate it. And I'm going to put you again back door.
I want you to know that this is an honor and a privilege for me, and thank you. And all the guys in the band knew I was going to be doing this tonight, and they wanted me to tell you how much they appreciate you coming from the Tyn Tymes.
Well, I appreciate it. And hopefully if I get down to Alabama, down your way, now I'm going to look up and see where y'all playing at. And now that me and my wife's kind of can travel around a little bit, we can maybe stop in and surprise you a little bit.
That would be better than wonderful.
All right. Well, I'm going to put you backstage a second, and I'll be right with you as I close out. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You have heard Lanny G. Thomas from the Tyn Tymes Band. You know, they are a great band. If you want some great music, one of my favorite music also is The Horse by Cliff Nobles and the Company. They even sing one, This Is Your Birthday by Sullivan Burke, and Vehicle. Everybody's heard Vehicle, The Isles of March, and What Does It Take by Jimmy Walker and the All-Stars. They play all of these things, and also music from the Towns of What Kind of Fool, and Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. All the great hits they play, and they play it well with all the instruments and all. Go to the website, and if you're in the area, look them up, see where they're playing, and go visit them. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and we will see you next Monday at the same time at 7 o'clock.